What's your name?
My name's Vincent.
So I did my interpretation with Dana and my boyfriend.
Oh, okay. Where are you from?
Colorado, mostly.
Where else did you live?
That's Arizona, Germany, Virginia.
Oh, what part of Colorado? Sorry.
Colorado Springs.
Here I misinterpreted what she had asked. I don't know, I just totally blanked on the sign that she used.
I used to live in Frisco. Breckenridge. For 5 years.
I had a lot of
after I graduated from
difficult
college,
time
there
doing
for 5 years and stayed.
catching her fingers
I
while
love
I don't know a lot about Colorado, even though my boyfriend is from Colorado. He only kind of talks about his
the mountain's just so
remote
big.
area of Colorado.
It takes forever to go down.
Yeah. So I lived there for 5 years. It was a good time. A lot of good memories.
It was really kind of funny because whenever I would be struggling, he'd be like, "Oh, I know what you're trying to say." So then he would kind of feed me
But I never really had the money
the
to
city
go
names
there.
or whatever. So it obviously doesn't always work out that way, but it's kind of nice because then I will know for further references.
I like Breckenridge. I love the town. But the mountains themselves, I don't really like. My favorite is Beaver
Here I felt I used some good ASL
Creek. Beaver Creek.
like explaining and showing by example.
I love there. I love the trees.
The mountains are really big and it
Yeah,
once
I was in Beaver Creek and it snowed all that year, and the snow was like 9 feet high when they piled it.
Yeah, I've seen that before. So in Breckenridge, or Beaver Creek, Breckenridge, Keys.
It was interesting to learn all the condensed forms of city names too. I struggled with Breckenridge for some reason, going with backwards when I switched it forward to back. It was weird, but I got it.
Oh.
Aspen?
No. Oh. A basin.
Oh, yeah. I've never been to the A Basin. I think that's one of the places I've ever been
to. It's good for...
And he was like,
it's like the
interrupted me when I went to ask her.
No.
And it's the last to close.
Creek or crook, because I couldn't tell from where her hand was.
Like the very last one to be closed.
I just think it's funny that once I start saying the name of a place, he's like, "Oh yeah, I know where that is." So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
It's important if they're all closed, you can go there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of events you can go do. There's beach events and music. You can bring your dogs and park, and there's a parking lot, so you can all just mingle there.
Yeah.
It's a lot different than the other places. You don't have to stay.
I can tell that I'm doing more translating during this, which is
Did you grow up in Colorado?
For about 10 years. Pretty long.
Were you older when you were living in Colorado or younger?
I was from 10 to about now. My parents moved to Las Vegas.
Here I really struggled with my...
Does your family move around a lot?
Yeah, both my parents were in the Army, so they got transferred a lot.
Comprehension.
Did you like that?
I appreciate being able to see a lot of the world, but it was hard as a kid growing up and moving around every 3 years.
It was hard to make friends, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Again, he tried to like
Yeah, you
talk
just
into work.
very
Like,
quick. It's
oh,
nice
just stop. I was trying to just
to
like
make friends from this area, right?
and be like,
Yeah.
be quiet.
And I
can
could
do
stay
this,
here
like,
another
I got
year
it.
at least, so.
Where do you go to school? You go to Columbia?
Yeah, I am a computer artist.
I certainly need more lag time before I start talking.
How did you and Aubrey meet?
We met at first we met at a party, and then we met again at another party, and then we started seeing each other more often.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice. You live in Chicago for school, right?
Yeah, I was going to school in Santa Fe, New Mexico, but they closed down due to money troubles.
I'm very kind of confused now. But
So I
to
decided to move to Chicago because I heard that Columbia was a nice school.
That's cool. Do you want to graduate from Columbia?
Yeah.
When are you going to graduate?
2 years from now.
Are you looking forward to it? Forward to graduating?
A little bit. It's a little hard to find a job right now in the video game industry, which is where I'm looking to go towards. So hopefully by 2013 there will be some more jobs.
Does Columbia offer internships? Will you take one of those? Because I think that'll help finding a job. Not always, but it sometimes helps. You know, if they offer that, definitely take it.
From what I know, the video game industry has very little internships. Most of the stuff that they do are collaborative projects with other students to build.
I have a really hard time when people ask me how we met, because I feel like it's I just stumble over words and say, "How did we meet?" It just sounds awkward in my head because
it's really interesting.
How did the deaf consumer and the hearing consumer
not many jobs connected to your major, right?
The hearing consumer and the interpreter in this particular situation.
Yes and no. There are some, mostly out of state. California has quite a few jobs, and a couple other places, but
I really struggled
Chicago has very few.
Into a coherent type of sentence. I didn't know exactly how to phrase it.
So, do you want to draw, or people, or what exactly do you do?
Well, I make objects in a computer in 3D that are put into a game.
Like what sort of things? People, machines?
I want to go towards characters, people.
So what do you do with the characters? Do you create them, or what do you do?
First, I have to model them like clay in a computer program. And then I take another program and paint on what you see on the surface.
I feel like even though
you draw the characters,
things, I didn't let off too much.
Is it really fun?
Yeah, it's a lot of times spent sitting down looking at the computer. It's a little tedious, but I like it a lot.
I graduated with a bachelor's in graphic design, so I understand the job market. It's really hard to find a job connected to designing. So that's why I switched over to teaching here, teaching ASL at Columbia. I still like graphic design, but jobs are really tough to find. A long time ago I worked, and the boss asked me to come back to work with them again, but then I was laid
It was
off
kind of
again.
funny to hear Dana talking about
So,
like taking internships because we were just having
then
this
I
real
went back to
casual
school for
conversation,
the
and all of a
summer.
sudden it was like, oh, I'm the teacher
And
now. It
I
was
will
just kind
get
of
my
funny.
master's in sign language teaching. It's a 1-year program, it's condensed.
Have you taken a lot of school in Chicago?
My past college where I got my bachelor's, Washington, was in Washington, D.C. at Gallaudet, and I graduated in 2001.
Non-correct conceptual like building.
So then I moved to Colorado, and then I moved back here with my family, and I grew up here. And I worked in graphic design, and then for a few years, and then I got laid off, and I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. So I got a job at Columbia, connected with teaching ASL, and I really enjoyed it. So I decided to go back to school. So now I'm going back to Washington, D.C. So I go back and forth all the time.
Yeah, I lived in Richmond, Virginia, or Alexandria, I'm sorry.
I actually really enjoyed this next part trying
for
to
a few
explain
years.
exactly
My
what
dad
it
worked
does,
at
because it always comes
the
up
Pentagon,
because
so I got to
with
see
the tutors that I do
a lot
work
of
with,
downtown DC.
and every time it gets a little bit
But I've
better.
always wanted to go back because I felt like I was a little too young.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I feel
All
like
the
I
museums
continually
have so many
am finding
different
computer
kinds.
rooms because I don't usually
So you can
I
pick
use
a bunch of
the older
different ones. It's
sign
really
for it,
nice.
and a lot of people are
It's interesting.
they
I love to
correct
go
me
see
on that.
those museums.
I think my favorite was the Air and Space Museum.
And then I use the wrong sign again.
Yeah, it's a boy thing. Yeah, go do that.
So are you going to be moving out of Chicago for a while once you move back to DC?
Yes. Yeah, after high school I moved to Washington, D.C. I went to school.
When I look at
I lived there
how
for
I
about 6
explain
years.
his work and what he does, it's
When I
not very
graduated, I moved to Colorado, like I said.
not thought out. It was very difficult.
Before I went to
But
college,
I know I gave more
never
information
gone
on it
anywhere
this
else.
time than last time. You could tell
So
on
when I was a
Dana's
college
face she was
student,
struggling
I'm with
kind
my
of.
boyfriend. I went snowboarding there, and it really influenced me to go back for spring break. And that's when I fell in love with Colorado. And I decided for myself I wanted to go live there for a year. So then when school was finished, I packed everything and moved to Colorado. And I stayed there, and I thought I was going to stay there for 1 year, but I ended up staying for 5.
Yeah.
I feel throughout
Do you ever
the
plan on going
finding
back?
about
I miss it a lot.
At Columbia, very smooth and very easy to understand. I think that's because she changed her
Yeah.
planning style a little bit with me.
I recently went last December. My boyfriend, the 3 of us went together and we stayed in Breckenridge for
I couldn't
in the
remember
third week of
laid off for
December.
no good reason. When
Around
I
that.
finally asked her, I was like,
It
oh,
was really
that
nice.
makes sense. I don't know why I asked her.
I don't go
for
very
it.
often because of the money and the time, so it's hard. And it's hard to find friends who want to go with me, you know? I want to try to go more often, maybe once a year if I can, but it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. I doubt I'll ever go back as often as I'd like, because all of my friends and family have moved out. There's not much left in the year there.
I couldn't. I don't know why. I was gonna say BA, and then I tried to say bachelor's at the same time, and it almost came out bachelor's.
You don't have any friends in the area anymore?
When I did it in my
No,
head,
it
I'm
seemed
going,
like most of my
the
friends
heck were you
moved out of
thinking,
state to go to school, and I know maybe one or two people that ended up going to school in Golden, Colorado.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Oh, okay.
In this part, I felt like
The program
I know
in
coming
DC,
up that I misinterpreted something.
the Masters for the Sign Language
from
teaching,
spoken English into
it's a summer
sign
school.
language, and so we kind of went
So
off
I'm still going
track,
to
and
teach here at
then
Columbia.
I ended
Sorry I
up
wasn't clear.
steering it back that way, but I felt
I don't
kind of
want
bad
to
at that time.
teach summer school in Columbia. So you can if you want, but I don't really want to. So this summer I'm just going to DC to stay for 8 weeks. I'm going to take around, I'm not sure how many classes I'm going to take. It's probably going to be about 3 classes. Oh.
I think that my voicing, I started to struggle a little bit, not with the ideas and the concepts that were being presented, but the fact that it was just
3
getting out of time, and
sessions.
for some reason I was just having a hard time understanding.
3 class sessions. The first session's about 2 weeks. So the first session I'm taking is 2 classes for 2 weeks. And then it'll be 2 classes again for the next 2 weeks. And the last session is a practicum. And after that's finished, I'll come back and teach here.
So I would just keep looking back and forth through.
Plus,
Like,
I'll
okay,
take 1 online
you got 12
course.
minutes. Keep going.
Same in the fall and spring, I'll teach here, plus take 1 online course. And then in the summer, I'll go back to DC to finish my 3 sessions. And then I'll be graduated, and then I'll have a master's degree. It's nice, it's a really cool program because it's just a 1-year program. And it's over the summer, so it's really easy. Yeah, you don't have to give up a lot, you don't have to move, you don't have to stay for 2
I
years.
didn't actually stop it.
I can stay here
again.
and just go back for the summer for 8 weeks, so it's no big deal.
I made a mistake.
So it seems like a good way to do it.
Like 2.5 points that were not.
Save some money and a lot of time. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, definitely. When I found that program around Christmas, on Christmas vacation, when I came here and I saw an advertisement for it, a magazine ad about Gallaudet's program. And so I was kind of curious about it, and I thought about it, and decided I'll apply. Last year, and so now, 3rd year, finally, here we are. So in the fall. Because it's not like I thought about it for a long time. I've been thinking about going back to school, but I was thinking how old I am, and the time, and if it would be hard. And so now I need a job, so that program was just in the summer, and I just had to take that opportunity and go ahead. So I took it, and it's going to be perfect.
Is Gallaudet a large school, or is it a smaller private school?
It's smaller. It's very small. Only university in the world that is focused on the deaf.
Oh.
So it accepts hearing students now.
I think I was just so focused on doing the message out that I totally forgot to.
I don't know how many students altogether, but in my time, graduating in 2001, there was only around 2,000, maybe just a little bit over 2,000 students. So it's a small school. All the teachers sign, everyone signs there. So it's a great experience to meet so many different people from all over the USA. And it's not just from America. There's some from Europe too. It's worldwide. Deaf people come there, so it's very nice.
DC seems like the best place to do it. It's the nation's capital, I suppose.
Overall, I definitely feel like I did a lot more transliterating than I did
Seems like you're in the heart of America, even though it's not the
using
center
ASL
of
time
America.
structures.
Yeah. The reason why it was established in Washington, D.C., it was connected with the government funding a long time ago. Yeah, that was the first school open, so it was easy to get the funding and help from the government then.
Yeah.